I guess like just to add on, like even if you think it could be a negative, um, with being out in the sun. Like we can't be out in the sun for too long or else we'll get sunburned. But
That's a fact.
to counter that, just like have sunscreen, make sure you got your umbrella or whatever, like got your sunglasses. It's like there are things to prevent it.
Right.
Make sure to stay in the shade and everything.
Right. I totally forgot about that. Probably because I live in New York and it's always so cold over here. But
Uh,
yeah, definitely. I would say so. I changed my mind, right? Not the vision, because again, the vision comes with the other big benefits like the free tuition, the free rides, and all that stuff like that.
mhm,
So scratch that. The bad part about albinism is the sun. That's the bad part, because you go out there in that sun, you get burnt. You understand? I've had sunburn on cold days sometimes, because one thing I didn't realize, no, for real, no joke. One thing I didn't realize is that, and this is informative for everybody with albinism. What gives you sunburn is not the heat. It's not about how hot it is. It's about how strong the UVA rays of the sun is on that day. So it is very possible that it could be somewhat of a chilly day, but as long as the sun is out and the UVA rays are high for that day, you can still get sunburned. And trust me, it's for real, because it happened to me. I was outside on a real sunny day, and it was kind of cold, to be honest with you. It was actually cold, but the sun was out and the UVA rays were pretty strong, and I still ended up with sunburn. So take that serious. It's for real. You know what I mean? Get your sunscreen, put on your shades, make sure you keep the sun from out of your eyes, get your shades, get your hat. Take it serious, because I didn't take it serious when I was younger, and I got sunburned a lot. So that ain't no fun.
yeah, and to have like share my own story. Um, I was with my friend who got her driver's license. We had went out um like a couple of years ago to um I think like Six Flags or something. Um, and I made sure to stay in the shade whenever we'd go on like a ride or anything. And right when we were back in the car, I noticed like my whole face was just sunburned, my arms and everything. And I was like, how did this happen? And I was in the shade for the majority of the day. I had my
Mm-hmm.
umbrella and everything. Like, oh my God. But
Because
yeah,
it ain't about the heat. It's about
right.
how strong the UVA rays are for that day. And each day it's different, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was something I had to learn the hard way as well, you know. But and I really I really do enjoy the fact that we came together to have this podcast, have this conversation. I think this is dope, and I love the fact that we're both helping people out within the albinism community and helping sharing people's stories,
Mhm.
because we get a lot of interesting stories of people with albinism, and it's super interesting, and it's very informative to the masses when we put this out here. So this is actually great what we're doing.
Right. Yeah. I'm glad we were able to connect and do this.
Yeah. So, did you have any questions for me? I feel like I was kind of, you know, asking all the questions. You got any questions for me?
Yeah, you are good. I guess um like how your childhood was and school and everything. Excuse me. Um oops.
Okay, so for me, like I said, childhood, same thing as you. Get picked on, name called, bullied, stuff like that. And that always continued. Like it never, what I mean? Like even in I would say the older you get, the more it slowly starts to go away. You still get it a little here and there when you're like in high school or college and stuff like that. It still happens, but it definitely decreased over time. So there's that, and then like we mentioned, then you get to like the age of 16, and then you realize for the first time you can't drive a car. You know what I mean? And that's how it really was, for me growing up. But like I said, with that came certain friendships and things like that, or people who deliberately wanted to treat you nicer than others because they saw that you had a defect or had albinism or whatever. For me, going through school, the hardest part was definitely vision because every classroom I was in, even if I sat in the very front row, I couldn't see the board. I couldn't read the board, let me say that. So whenever the teacher would put up her notes, even if I sat right there in the front, I couldn't read the notes. So then reaching out to different entities to say, hey, I can't read the board. Can you provide me with a note taker? Can you provide me with copies of the notes? And there's plenty of programs for that. They did an amazing job. They provided me with all of the big text that I needed, all of the notes that I needed. They provided me with note takers and stuff like that, and not just in college, but also in high school. Like this started in middle school where I first started getting the note takers and the people who would copy the notes for me and things like that. Super important if you can't see the board. So that was my hardest part was that. And then sometimes it was hard to take tests and quizzes if the print was a little too small. So they can bring you in large print. Um, and then I would say other than that, then when you hit adulthood, it's that's when the perks kick in. That's when the perks kick in. Like to me, going to school for free was amazing. That was the only reason why I even went to college in the first place was because it was free. If it wouldn't have been free, I wouldn't have went because I think it's pretty stupid to pay $40,000 for a degree and then you come out and your first job might be 40,000, but you owe that. So I only did that because it was free. Um, and what I believe there was a second part of your question. You said growing up, early childhood, and was there another part?
Um, I, I think it was just school life.
Oh, okay, school. So that's how that was with early childhood in school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can definitely relate. Just the low vision and everything. Like my teachers and every would have to either give me a magnifying glass just so I could read the textbooks, and I'm like, that's so awkward being in a whole class and you have
Yeah.
this huge.
Oh yeah. Oh, it get embarrassing. It get real embarrassing, especially when you got a test and the teacher comes out with a book the size of your forearm. You know what I'm saying? And they like, hey, here's your enlarged text. I'm like, yo, how God? If somebody needed a book that big, then they probably didn't have vision at all. You know what I mean? So yeah, it gets embarrassing when the teacher come out and she puts this big old book on your table, like, here you go, this is yours. And then everybody's looking at you like, you know what I mean?
Wait, can you
So
even see? Like,
yeah, so that was crazy. But why don't you wear glasses?
um, well, I do. It's just mine broke, so
Oh,
yeah,
you
I
don't
just
use
get more.
contacts?
No, I've never worn contacts before.
Yo, listen, I'm gonna tell you this, man. Try some contacts.
Mm.
Having contacts in is like a whole new world. You know what I mean? It's like the feeling of seeing sharp vision without the nuisance of having glasses on your face. And it's so useful, especially if you out and about, you going to the gym, you doing something where you're sweating and all of that. And glasses get in the way a lot. You know what I mean? So contacts is a whole new world. I recommend you try that,
Yeah,
man.
I've
It
asked my
feels amazing.
parents about wearing contacts, but we never really like went in depth about it. It's like, do you really want contacts? And I was like, I don't know. It's like, but yeah,
You should try it. It's worth a try. It's definitely worth a try.
I'll definitely look into that. But my nerves getting back up again.
You gotta come on. You gotta get it together, girl. You gotta. What you ain't got no friends or something? Like if you got friends and you talk to people on a regular basis, you shouldn't be nervous. You know what I mean? And then plus, it's albinism. We both got albinism. Yeah, ain't nothing to be nervous about.
I
Ain't
mean,
nothing to be nervous about.
I've always been like this. It's just I'm.
Oh, okay. You've been like that since like a little kid, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, but hey, that's what my organization's about, confidence. So I gotta get that. It's instill that into myself.
Are you a confident person?
Um, I- that's like a yes and no question.
Yes and no. Which one is it?
But
What you in
yes.
between? What is it?
I'd say I'm confident. I'm just pretty shy and introverted, so it's like that's like the no part of it. Just, but
Mm. What's the yes part of it?
um, like when like I'm confident when I'm doing things like in my interests, like when I'm acting or something. Like
Oh,
then
you're an actor.
more or less.
Well, listen, if you're gonna be an actor, I don't see how you're gonna be acting if you all shy and jittery like this. You know what I mean? What you gonna do when you on set and the lights come on? You going, you know what I mean? Like, what you gonna do then? You know, I mean, I mean, I don't know what else to say because you obviously been like this all your life, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of class you could take that'll help you to not be shy no more. But you definitely want to take acting serious, which I don't know. Do you want to take acting serious?
Yeah, I do.
Well, you better cut this shyness out. Then you better cut this out real quick. You might be a little late in the game if you might want to cut that out real soon. You know what
that's
I
what
mean?
I take on the role. I'm like, yeah, I got this, and then it's all smooth sailing from there.
Okay, okay, okay. That's good. That's good. And what else do you do other than the podcast and acting? What are some other hobbies or careers that you hold?
Well, I I'm an artistic person. Like the performing arts with acting, singing, and dancing, and all that. Um,
Oh, so
and
you dance?
mhm,
Okay.
like
And
learn.
and you sing?
Mhm.
Now, does that conflict? Quick question. Quick question. How are we doing on the time? Because I know Zoom only records for like what 45 minutes.
Oh no, it records longer than that.
Oh, okay. So we don't got no time limit.
I'm not sure if there is a set limit, but I do know it records more than 45.
All right. What we at right now?
Ooh, um,
Sorry to ask this in the middle of the show. I just got before
no.
I ask anything else.
Oh, I didn't realize my name was like that. I'm not even. Um,
All right. So forget it.
we'll see.
Okay, we'll
At
see
the
at
end.
the end.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say is this: a bit of a personal question.
Mhm.
Does your acting and singing career interfere with your religion? Because you're Muslim, right?
Mhm.
And I know, well, I don't know, so tell me if I'm right or wrong. Does is there not a conflict where women of Islam are not to, I guess, uh, portray themselves out there in certain ways, like performing and dancing and stuff like that, or am I
Oh,
not on the right track here?
well, of course, we're not supposed to like, show our bodies or anything like
Right.
that, but we can act and sing and all of that. Just
Okay.
make sure that we're, um, in that good image that we're supposed to portray.
Okay. I asked that because I used to know this one woman who was Muslim and she rapped and she used to get a lot of flack for rapping because pretty much the Islamic culture was telling her, like other men in the Islamic culture were telling her that she's not supposed to I don't know how to say it, but she wasn't supposed to like be broadcasting herself out there doing certain things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she wasn't doing anything vulgar, but it was just like I guess like a whole stigma of a woman in Islam that's out there dancing and singing and blah blah blah. I don't know. I guess it just sounds silly, but
Oh, well, of course, I can't speak for others. Like, I'm in the Nation of Islam, so I wouldn't know about like hijabis or anything like that. Um, and their rules and culture and everything. But you know, in the nation, we can we can sorry, I need to get my words together. Um, but yeah, we can do things that we'd like to just make sure that it's not vulgar or anything.
okay, okay, that's good. And what about job wise? What do you do for a living?
Um, Confident albino brothers and sisters, and that's basically my job. Um, and at times I would do the summer youth program in DC, the Marion Barry summer youth program. So it'd be a job every summer.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. For me, my full time career is always something within now, but I almost said albinism community. Always something within the psychology department. So I usually work with like youth or work with teens. I did a lot of work with like incarcerated youth or foster care. So I'm always within that realm of things. Um, Other than that, my other hobbies would include like gym. Absolutely love working out. Love going to the gym.
Mhm.
Gaming. I do a lot of gaming. Just started a gaming channel.
Yeah.
Follow Dale Jr. Grudge Gaming. So I just started my Grudge Gaming channel. Of course, Life with Albinism. I absolutely love doing my podcast. I haven't done an episode in a while,
Mhm.
and not because I fell off or forgot, but just simply because it's always been pretty difficult scheduling and rounding people up. As you can see with us, this took us like 3-4 weeks to do because just catching each other at different schedules and different times. So that's another hobby of mine is doing my Life with Albinism podcast. I want to start getting into like vlogging, doing travel vlogs and stuff like that. I absolutely love traveling around the world. That's a big hobby of mine. So I want to start documenting a lot of my travel vlogs that I do. Um, so yeah, just things like that. These are all the things that really revolve around me that really piqued my interest. And then other little things like music and stuff like that too. Like I do rap and stuff like that, but I don't really focus on that. Who cares about that? You know what I mean? So yeah, I just think that life with albinism is something that I really want to push to the forefront. With everything else that I'm doing, that's cool, but I really want to start pushing life with albinism into the forefront. I really want to start doing my podcast a lot more often, even if I have to do it with less co-hosts, just to keep the frequency up. And I want to eventually start doing products for people with albinism. I don't want to speak about it yet because I'm working on some things. I don't want to jinx myself right now, but I'm working on some things, and I really want to take life with albinism to the next level. A lot of things that I want to do again that I can't really mention just yet because I want to kind of get things figured out first. Um, but yeah, I want to really mold and shape people's vision of albinism. I really want to mold and shape how people view living with albinism, and I want to, if possible, now this is a stretch, but if possible, I want to eventually become responsible for pushing albinism into the limelight because one issue that I've always had is that very few, very few times do you find a person with albinism in the media. Yeah, you got your one or two albino models.
Mhm.
Yeah, you got your one. I can't even say acting because on one of my previous episodes we spoke about acting with albinism, and someone mentioned the Matrix, someone mentioned the Da Vinci Code, someone mentioned Powder, and I did my research. Neither of those movies had actual people with albinism. Those were all white actors who put on makeup and costume to look as if they had albinism. So the twins in the Matrix, the person in the Da Vinci Code, the person in Powder, none of which were real people with albinism. So we can actually say there's never been a major movie that had a role of a person with albinism. I don't even see it in sports. And again, you might see that little Instagram clip that goes viral of like the kid in high school with albinism that's playing basketball, but I want to see it in the NBA. I want to see it in modeling. I want to see it in TV. I want to see it in music and television. I think the only place we have a really good prevalence is probably music because you got artists like Krondon, you got artists like Brother Ali, who are very, very known and popular in the underground circuit. So I'll give us that. But other than that, I want to be able to encourage other places and other entities to start pushing people with albinism into the forefront so we can start seeing albino actors, albino athletes, albino models, more than just the two that we obviously know of. I want to see more of it. I want it to be because and I say that because with every other disability, we see it all the time. When you look at dwarfism, they have reality shows for people with dwarfism. When you see giantism, the people that's like 7 feet tall when they're 10. we see reality shows for people like that. You know what I mean? There's reality shows for people who are severely overweight. There are reality shows for every disability, except for albinism. There's reality shows for even people who have certain mental illnesses and stuff like that. And that's why you get I forgot what that show's called on TLC, like My Strange Addiction and My Obsession and all these other shows that they show with people who have some form of a disorder, some form of a mental disability, but we never see albinism. And I want more of that. I want to start pitching some ideas to these television networks and these shows to push albinism to the forefront.
Right. Yeah. And like just speaking about albinism in media, um, the movies that you mentioned and others have all been negative. So it's not even just the lack of albinism. It's just when it is shown, it's negative. Like,
Right, when it is shown as negative, and then it ain't even real. Let's focus on that too. They
mhm,
wasn't even real albinos. Those were white people who put on blonde wigs and makeup to look like they were albino, which is crazy to me because how hard would it have been for New Line Cinema or whoever produced that movie to just put out a casting call to say, looking for people with albinism, looking for twins with albinism? It would have been easy, but instead of them getting a real albino, they rather get a white person and just decorate them. Like, to me, that's crazy. And to me, that shows that there's a problem because why would you want the fake version of something real that you could easily get?
mhm.
It ain't hard to find nobody with albinism. As me and you know, we interviewing people with albinism every day. It ain't hard. I know twins with albinism. So that's my biggest issue is not only is when albinism does surface on some kind of level, they portray it in like a negative way or like the villain or something like that, but
Mhm.
then it ain't even real. So the only thing we can give is Black Lightning, which that is an actual man with albinism, and by the name of Krondon, and he's also a rapper. So yeah, we got to see more of that. I want to push albinism to the forefront. I want to really push the Life with Albinism brand to the next level. I want to start doing products. I want to start doing, if I could do shows, if I could do pitch ideas, everything. I want to do it. I really want to do it.
And if like if a chance comes up, maybe we could do something together. Like, you know,
Absolutely. Oh, listen, where you're not located in New York, right?
Washington D.C.
Oh, okay. Well, that ain't too far. So listen, next time something comes up like the NOAA conference, I know they did it digitally this year because of coronavirus. If they do it, if they actually hold it next year, they usually do it in like Arizona or something like that. If they do it next year, yo, let's go. Let's go there together. We can promote our business, bring your business cards, bring all of that stuff. You know what I mean? And we could work, we can network, we can go there, promote our businesses, and come up with everything that we could possibly do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I just wanted to put this out there. Again with media, um, me and my brother we're working on a comic book, and it's called Nair, and it's going to feature a black female with albinism. She's like
Hmm.
a hero type character.
Oh,
Um,
that's dope.
so
That's
he's
dope.
the artist, and I'm the writer. So we're working on that. So that'll push the positive the
Positive outlook.
positivity in the media type. So
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Make sure you, whenever y'all get that, have y'all already started it?
he's
Okay,
yeah, he's got like drawing boards and everything up. So
good. Promote that. Push that to the forefront. Promote it. I'll share it. I'll tell other people to share it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I feel like it's endless. We'll never run out of people with albinism to interview or to talk to or to network with. So let's do it.
yeah. um, um I haven't really asked you many questions, but we kind of really talked about like a lot of topics
We
that.
definitely did. I think this is actually going to be one of my better episodes. I definitely think so.
Oh yeah.
I definitely think so. And I thank you for your time. I feel like we got a lot of things wrapped up. We could we could wrap it up here. It was an amazing episode. I can't wait to put this out. And I really like what you're doing. You're encouraging people with albinism. You're pushing it to the forefront. The comic book idea sounds amazing. I never even thought of nothing like that. So keep that up. This is amazing. This is amazing. Let's shout out our social medias and everything so everybody can follow us. You can follow me on Instagram at Life with Albinism with an underscore in between each word. Okay, so it's life underscore with underscore albinism. Um, Also, you can follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to the Life with Albinism podcast. If you want to find that on YouTube, all you got to do is type in Life with Albinism podcast. You type in Life with Albinism podcast on YouTube, it'll come right up. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see whatever new episodes we are on. Follow us on Instagram, life underscore with underscore albinism. You can find all of our content there. If you want to be on my show, anybody watching this with albinism, you want to be on my show, send me a message, DM me, whatever the case. You can find me on other social medias on my own personal accounts. It's Dale Hamilton, my real name. Find me anywhere, Facebook, Instagram, whatever.
And for my socials, you can follow me at excuse me. You can follow me on Instagram at confident underscore albinos. Find me on Facebook at Kiyama Muhammad. And like the page Confident Albino Brothers and Sisters. YouTube is also under the same name, Confident Albino Brothers and Sisters. And Twitter is Confident Albinos. Um, and I think that's everything. But
All right. Thank you.
thank you so
Wonderful
much.
episode. I
Oh,
enjoyed it.
but before we end this, would you mind doing a drop for That's What's Up?
Okay, no problem. This is That's What's Up with Kiana Muhammad, Confident Albino Brothers and Sisters. Follow her page, follow her Instagram, follow her Twitter, follow her YouTube, subscribe, watch all of her episodes. She has amazing content. Congrats to her.
And be sure to follow and like Dale Hamilton and his podcast, Life with Albinism. He was the first, you
The
know.
first ever to do it, the world's first albino podcast. Never forget that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was
Thank
a pleasure
you.
meeting and talking with you.
No
Um,
problem. We could do this again anytime. Let me know.
yep. And if there's ever a chance that we could do something, just hit me up. Well,
No doubt.
something.
No doubt.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.